Guys, appreciate you tuning in for this lunch episode, hopefully in under 3 minutes, where you can learn something phenomenal about your digestive health and how you can actually become healthier mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, all through better digestion of your gut. If you don't have time, you can actually click the upper right-hand corner and just click save and watch it at some future point in time. But today I'm going to be talking about, if you are overweight or if you have blood sugar issues, there's a specific reason why actually you should be taking probiotics or eating a significant amount of probiotics. If you tuned into the last video that I did on Friday, it really kind of get into what a probiotic is and how it basically lines your intestine, et cetera, and what it does. But there is a specific physiological reason of what a probiotic does for your body. And the main physiological function of a probiotic is actually just simply to break down sugars and starches. That's its main job. Now, if I was to ask, okay, what is a probiotic? Most people would say, all right, it affects your gut, or it's very beneficial for your intestine, or it strengthens your immune system. But how does it do that? And why does it do that? So when you take a probiotic or when you eat a fermented food, basically you are ingesting that. And as I said, the physiological function of that probiotic, because it is a living bacteria, is actually just to go around and find sugars and starches. And then what it does is it starts to basically starts to break down and decompose those sugars and starches. And then it makes it easier for those sugars and starches actually to pass through your intestine and get rid of. So that's its main purpose, and it's very beneficial for that. So, I was actually in the radio the other day, and I saw this or heard this commercial for new biotics, something along those lines, but it was talking about how to lose belly fat, and it said that it targeted specifically belly fat. And I thought, okay, well, that sounds great in theory. Now, what is it? And if you start to look at it, basically the main ingredient in that is probiotics. And so understanding that when you take a probiotic, again, its main function is to break down sugars and starches, it's very beneficial that you could start to eliminate those waste products of sugars and starches in your bodies and eliminate that and reduce your weight and help to regulate blood sugar. Again, because if you have blood sugar issues, what's the main component of that? Is you have some sort of sugars and starches, and it signifies and it has like an insulin reaction, and you can't control your blood sugar, but again, it's having those carbohydrates there in your body that you can't regulate. And so taking a probiotic supplement or eating probiotic foods, again, its main job is to break down those sugars and starches and help to better regulate your blood sugar. So, after it does break down the sugars and starches, then it goes to populate your intestine, where it's a living bacteria that it can actually go to improve your immune system. So again, when you take a probiotic supplement, sometimes people say, it hurts my stomach, or it makes me gassy, and is understanding that it's doing its job. And what's happening is that if you take a probiotic supplement or eat fermented foods and it makes your stomach really kind of feel not very good, it's doing its job. The problem that you may encounter is that releasing that digestive waste, that's the bigger issue. And understanding that probiotics are actually there to benefit you from a physiological standpoint. And if you do that, if you understand, okay, if I take a probiotic supplement, its first job is to get rid of really the waste, which is the sugars and starches in your body. And then once it does that, it tries to find a happy home. And if it can't do that, if your gut is out of whack and it's not a good place to populate, it's just going to pass out. That's why they always recommend that when you take a probiotic supplement that you take it every single day. When really, you shouldn't have to do that. If you have a good functioning gut, that probiotics should be happy and populate in your gut. But those probiotic supplements, again, its main job is really to break down the sugars and starches. And so if you really want to have a healthy gut, start to incorporate probiotic supplements, fermented foods, see how your body responds to that. And again, if you get a little bit of an indigestion, upset stomach, gassy, understand that it's doing its job first and foremost, and that you should focus on getting rid of that waste. So hopefully that you learned something today, how probiotics and digestive health can actually help you mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, become a better you. And that's the goal, is that you can find that happiness inside of your gut. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you liked it, comment below or hit the like button or share with me something that you about better digestive health. Thanks, guys. Remember to go to Jerry's Pro Pops over on Facebook. You guys have a great day. See you later. Bye-bye.